What's up guys, Zeo here doing some more action figures. This time we have the Star Wars Black Series Archive Wave 2. So these are the reproduction of the older Black Series figures. Of course we'll see the different ones here. But in the set we have Yoda and Darth Maul. And then Anakin and the Scout Trooper. So once again, these are characters that were made in the past. They kind of just took them, updated them, especially like the faces and everything. And repackaged them here in the Archive Wave. So it's cool that we're finally able to catch up with some of these older figures and everything. But they look really cool. Before we open these, if you're into collecting video games or any other parts of nerd culture, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and show me that you are awesome. So let's go ahead and open these. So first up here we have Yoda, and again this figure was first released in 2014, and then of course they re-released it here for the Archive Wave, and I absolutely love Yoda. He's one of my all-time favorite Star Wars characters, so anything Yoda I have to have in one. So of course I always wanted the Black Series figure but could never find it for a price I could afford, so they re-released it, and I'm excited now that I finally got Yoda. So this figure is pretty cool overall. So we can see his face up here, of course his old man looking face. This is from the Empire Strikes Back, and we can see his long green ears sticking off to the side. Of course he's all green, so, and what's remaining of his white hair laying down here in the back. He's then in his Jedi robes or outfit, so you can see the brown underneath. You can probably take this cloak off over the top of him. You can take it off and see his just like outfit that we saw him in like episode 3 where he fought Palpatine and stuff. That's the outfit. It's just the brown tunic design outfit under there as we would see, and then he has of course the Jedi robe over the top here. He has a belt on. You can see there's some rope hanging down here off the side while it's tied together in a little pocket there on the back. Then of course he has his little three-toed fingers and hands here, so you can see his claws there and his toes there at the bottom. And then of course some of his accessories, they already came on, so I just left them on. So he has a vine snake here, which is seen in like Yoda's house and on Dagobah and everything, so just a little snake. And then he has this thing around his neck like a little necklace, but it's called a blistle, which is pretty much designed like a pan flute. So it's supposed to be like, you know, little 3 pieces of wood that you can blow through and make music and everything. I don't know why he has them on, but I think it's a nice little detail that add more to like the history or like, you know, lifestyle of Yoda and everything, that he likes to play some music and jam out. And then we've got his accessories. So he has his little cane here, so a cane we can take and slide into his hand so he can walk around with the help of his cane. Then of course he comes with his lightsaber, his short little green lightsaber, which of course we always have to have Yoda with the lightsaber. And there we go. So as a 900-year-old Jedi Master, he's ready to battle now with his lightsaber and everything. And this is pretty cool. I would take his outfit off, but again I don't know how you take it off because I don't see the belt exactly how it comes off. I know it can come off though, but I just don't want to do it and not be able to get it back on. I'll have to mess with it later. It looks like it's right there. But yeah, so it's pretty much just brown underneath, so nothing too special, so we'll just leave the cloak on anyways. But that's pretty cool for Yoda there. Then next up we have Darth Maul, which of course is another figure I wanted so bad because I love episode 3 and I think Darth Maul is absolutely one of the coolest Sith there is, so I'm super excited I was finally able to get Darth Maul here. So here we have him from when like he first appears on Tatooine to fight Qui-Gon and everything, and of course when he first lands to try and find out where the Jedi and Padme are, or Queen Amidala are and everything. So he comes out with this cloak on and everything, as we can see him here, and you can see just, you know, a little part of his face and stuff, and then he's in his all black coat here, so you can't really see much of him. It's just a bunch of all black material, which we can take this off fortunately, so we'll just kind of look at it here. So of course his head you can't really do much with because it is attached there, so I think all the cloak is attached to his head, so we'll have to switch his head out here. And then of course you can see part of his arm sticking out through here, and it has, you know, some movements and some gaps through there to be able to easily do it. And it's a real thin rubber material, so it's not going to be that hard to probably get on and off. So there you go, got the cloak off, and as you can see there, so you can see it's just his head there, and it has the entire cloak attached to it and everything, so it can be like a weird little shadow thing standing off in the background. But here we actually have Darth Maul now, and it again looks very cool, especially without the cloak. It looks very cool, very similar to the very end of the movie when he fights the Jedis and everything. So we'll take a look up here. So there's a look at his face. So again, this is an additional head that came in the pack that I just switched out. This one obviously doesn't have the cloak attached, so you can see his black and red face here, so it looks very weird, evil and menacing, but cool at the same time. The spikes all over his head and everything looks very cool. And then he's just in an all black robe, so nothing too special to look at, but you can see we have the tunics coming down on the top here, some baggy sleeves. He's got some black leather gloves, a black leather belt around his waist, and then again some more of his tunic hanging down. Then we also have some fabric material, so we have the plastic and then some actual like fabric material here hanging down around the sides here, so it goes all the way down around the back and everything. So very cool that they added that material into there as well. Then you can see his baggy pants come down to the giant knees there. You can see them, they look kind of cool. And then the boots there at the bottom, the black leather boots as well. So I didn't do it on Yoda because it's kind of hard to see without his cloak, but we'll look at movements here. So the head can obviously move around and twist. The shoulders that can move around, of course, kind of interfered with the tunic here, so you can't get the arms moved too much. Has a single elbow joint and the wrist that can twist around and flex. Then we have like nab, crunch, and twist right at the waist, so you can see it, you know, can twist around side to side and does the crunch there. Then we have the legs that come out, so he has a pretty good range of movement, a little bit over 90 degrees it looks like. Of course, all this stuff is flimsy and stuff, so it can move out of the way and everything as needed. Does have the thigh twist there as well, and of course the big double knee joint as we looked at earlier, and then the foot that can flex back and forth and twist side to side. And then we have some accessories. So first off, we have the electro binoculars here, of course, that again, when he lands on Tatooine, he's looking out through these and everything to search for wherever the Jedis in Amidala are, so that's why he's got those. Of course, we don't really need those for anything, but the most important thing is he comes with his double lightsaber. So here it comes separated, obviously, so if you want to do it where, you know, like Obi-Wan cuts his lightsaber in half and everything, or you can attach it together like that and give him his double bladed lightsaber. Although I do know it's kind of hard to get these in his hands because it is kind of flimsy and everything, especially with the center joint, but I'll have to play around because I definitely want it in his hands. So there's not perfect posing and everything, but I just took each part, slide the top through the top hand, bottom through the bottom, and then just conjoined them in the center to be able to get it into both hands and everything. But I don't think it looks too bad. It looks pretty cool and stuff, especially with both of the blades there and everything, so that is super cool. And that's going to be it for Darth Maul. Next up here we have episode 3 Anakin, which is supposed to be right around or before when he's turning into Darth Vader officially. At least that's what the box is saying. So up close here we have the face. We have Hayden Christensen's face. Again, I don't think it looks exactly like, to me on camera it doesn't look as well, and then especially in certain like angles and stuff doesn't look like it, but at some angles I do think it looks a lot like him, so I think they did a pretty good job with like the face scan. He has a scar, of course, on his face, and his eyes are starting to get the red around him as when it happens when he turns to Darth Vader. He of course has the longer brown hair as we saw in the movie and everything. Then he's got the darker colors of the brown tunic and stuff here, so usually it's like a dark brown or sometimes considered black, sort of like outer covering here of his tunic, but this one's just dark brown, and then it's got a lighter brown and even lighter brown underneath. So as we have all the different sorts of browns and colors there, he has his glove on, of course, here with his arm that got cut off, and of course it's all the mechanical stuff underneath, and you can see his normal human hand in this side. Then we have the leather belt on here with some pockets and stuff, has the holder for the lightsaber and everything, all sorts of pockets there on the back. Some fabric underneath here as well, so very similar to how Darth Maul was designed and stuff, so we got some fabric here coming down as the lower part of his tunic. Then we got the baggy brown pants that go into his leather boots, and I have some issue with the boots. To me, from the top they look like they're on the wrong feet, but the bottom I kind of feel I can't tell if they're on the wrong feet or whatever, which happens. This has happened to me multiple times, unfortunately, where I get action figures and I get where they put their feet on the wrong side. So I feel like I'm gonna have to buy this figure again, unfortunately, which the thing is, I don't really care that much about this Anakin. It's one of my least cared about figures from this set. I still want him, I just don't care about it that much. So it was kind of disappointing. Of course, the one figure I don't care much about, I'm gonna probably have to buy twice, so I'll just have to look at the feet and examine them more, unfortunately. But I do like the boot design, how they added more detail. It's not just, you know, the plain flat design here. It's got, you know, details and ridges here on the front, all the buckles and everything, so it's very much a lot of detail went into designing these boots and everything, and it looks pretty cool. Then we have the move, so the head can twist, the arm again very similar to Darth Maul, that kind of messed up by the tunic and stuff here. Single elbow joint and the wrist, twist and crunch at the waist, again very similar, again exact same as Darth Maul. Legs that can come out, the single knee joint there, but of course has a little tiny like kneecap there, which is kind of funny, and the foot that can flex and everything. And for accessories, he comes with a head where he's starting to turn more to the dark side, and this is when he's actually Darth Vader and on Mustafar and everything, so he has the darker eyes. His eyes are more of a red color than the blue, and you can see his hair is kind of all messed up and swept over to the side of his face here and everything. He's got more of an angry look on his face, although that one looks kind of angry too, but there's when he's actually Darth Vader now. And then of course we have his lightsaber here, which eventually gets moved on to Luke and stuff by Obi-Wan, so we'll go and put the lightsaber in his hand. And that's going to be it for Anakin. And the last figure here is the Scout Trooper, also known as a Biker Scout. And so these are the characters we see on Endor, of course, with the whole land speeder scene with the Ewoks and Luke and Leia and everything, where they get chased on these speeders. So with this figure, I already have this. I have the original one that came with the speeder, and it's unfortunately they didn't like completely remake that and, you know, add the speeder. We just get the actual Scout Trooper itself, which, I mean, there's always there were Scout Troopers, you know, just on the ground and everything. So it's always cool to have, you know, a second one and everything to go along with the other and everything. But this looks pretty cool. So we have the white and black armor, of course, of the stormtroopers, but as the Scout, he has lighter armor, so he can move around easier to be able to maneuver on the bikes and get around the train and everything. So we have the big helmet up here, of course, with the like visor that comes up over the top, and supposedly in this he has optics that kind of like can like show like objects that'd be in his way and everything, so as they're on this speeder bikes, they can see what's coming up and know how to avoid it and everything. So that's kind of cool that that was built into it. And then again, just the lighter armor overall, so you can see the lighter chest piece armor just there in the center, just on the shoulder and then on the sides and stuff, but it's not completely covered in armor. Has a lot more range of movements for the normal troopers do. And I like that they took the brown and like put it on here to make it look all dirty and stuff, so you can have it on the chest there. It's on like the elbow pads there, and of course especially down on the knee and feet, so it's like, you know, especially they've been walking around in dirt and everything, so it's completely covered in dirty. Now I don't know if this is the exact same as the original. I assume it probably would be, just a little bit, maybe a little bit more changes, but I have my other one in storage, so I couldn't get it out to compare them and everything. I think that I don't remember the colors being like this, maybe a little bit dirty on the shoes, but I don't remember it being like that much, but that may be something different. But the overall movement, so we have the head that can twist around, the shoulders that can move, of course it's a little bit interfered with the shoulder pads up here. It does have the bicep twist and the double elbow joint there, as you can see with the elbow pad there moving and everything. Of course the wrist, the twist has a little bit of an ab crunch and twist right there under the chest. No twist at the waist or anything though, as you can see it's just completely solid around there with the belt and everything. Then we have the legs that can come out, but again interfered with some of the armor padding here on the legs. Has the thigh twist, the double knee joint, the shin twist, and then the foot that can flex around. So I would like to try this. So I know with the original one it's kind of hard to always get it onto the bike, so it always have issues with getting its feet on the pegs and everything. So it'd be cool to see if they changed anything with this figure that'd make it a little bit easier to go onto the actual bike and everything. I want to try that out. But the only other thing this figure comes with is the EC-17 holdout blaster. So it's just a little tiny gun. We see them use this in the movie, shooting at Luke and Leia and stuff on the opposite speeder. But this just goes down into a little holster there on the leg there, so you can see his little leg holster. So obviously when they're on the bike and stuff, you can easily just like reach down and grab onto it real quickly and everything. So it's cool that it goes on there. It just kind of sticks in. It doesn't like, it's not held in very well, but the way it's designed kind of locks in a little bit. But overall not bad. Like I said, I didn't really care that much since I already have this figure, but it's cool to get it again and have another one to go along with the others. So that's it for this Star Wars Black Series Archive Wave 2 set with Yoda, Darth Maul, Anakin, and the Scout Trooper. Again, very cool and excited that I was able to get some of these figures that of course were past figures made that I missed out on and couldn't afford to get again. So it's very cool, especially the Darth Maul and the Yoda are my absolute favorites out of this set. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what's your favorite character out of this or what figure you like the best in the comments down below. Leave a thumbs up and of course subscribe to the channel to see more videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.